The most inspirational thing in your dairy farming life, it's hearing from a fellow farmer and a professional. Imagine listening to a story of a daktari who is also a farmer doing very well. But at some point, as all of us say, iyo mwaka kuna ujinga nilifanya. Imagine listening to that story from an experienced farmer and a professional. That's what we are about to hear, an inspiring journey of Dr. Kaaria. So many mistakes he has made along that whole journey, a lot of success, opportunities and challenges he have seen. We are at Emiva Dairy Farm and this is the home of breeding. Karibu sana daktari.
Thank you very much.
I have heard your stories so many times.
Yeah.
You have shared with me. We have laughed at the mistake we did.
Exactly.
And some you look at them and you say, na nilikuwa mjinga.
Yeah, kabisa. Sometimes you enjoy the mistakes.
That's what we are, our viewer, fellow farmers are willing to hear from you.
Yeah.
Now you can share with us, you can introduce yourself and you share with us your dairy journey.
Thank you very much, Bwana Njuguna. As you have heard, my name is Dr. Kaaria. I'm a farmer and I also deal with genetics, CRI in genetics. And of course, I practice what I train the farmers, and also the genetics I give the farmers, I use them in my farm. So this is where I get first-hand information to see whether what I'm telling the farmers or what we are doing with the farmers is really the results of what we expect. So as we talked casually as we were starting, I told you this farm I started in 2014, having my own challenges initially and some cows dry. And then all of a sudden, the air broke loose. There was a period, there was a very big drought. I couldn't get hay from Nakuru or from anywhere, just as it has happened this last year.
And even this year, there is a serious shortage of hay.
Yeah, completely. Then that time we also used to pick some waste from the airport, the michiri and the rest as we normally know them. Unfortunately, even the airport authority saying that if they are not fit for human consumption, they are not fit for cows. So we just got grounded. We had no option. Those cows had to feed on dairy meal for a whole week. Yeah. So dairy meal for a whole week, bran, dairy meal, and then that is the most challenging period I got in my dairy farming, other than also last year, which I also tell you.
Did you experience acidosis? Before you answer that, you might be wondering what is here, our background. This is silage, a process that Dr. Kaaria is continuing to do. He's trying to secure himself not to make the same mistake he did back in 2012. Kukaa na ng'ombe town.
Yeah.
Now this is Mount, we can name it Mount Silage.
Yeah.
This is maize, a chopped maize for silage.
Yeah.
Sijui kama ulijaribu ukaambiwa utapelekwa kwa chief.
Yeah.
Unaharibu chakula ya binadamu.
Kabisa. That is where I started.
Now back to your dairy meal and feeding cows.
Yeah.
Didn't you experience acidosis for feeding exclusively on dairy meal?
We didn't experience acidosis because we were using a lot of bran and dairy meal.
The wheat bran?
Yeah, so the fiber was there. So out of the fiber and the dairy meal, and also we were not feeding much. We were just feeding to maintain them for their survival.
For survival.
Yeah. Those cows lost in body condition. It was totally messy. Yeah. So after that time, I decided these cows, I'm no longer staying with cows in town. I'm going to transfer them to Meru. Then I came and built a shed for 5 cows, and I found that is the last. I will never go more than 5. I will maintain 5. Then I brought my 4 cows that I had there. In fact, when they came here, one of them died because they were so emaciated. I think the journey from Nairobi to this place, one of them decided to go. So I was left with 3 cows and a small calf. And actually out of that is where I've gotten the whole of the land you have seen from. I've never bought a cow after that. All of them, all the cows you see, they are just they have been born out of those cows.
I have seen you have a sizable herd,
Yeah.
and our viewer might be interested.
Yeah.
From 4 cows in 2014,
2014. Yeah.
and now we are in 2022.
Yeah.
And you have seen 2146,
Yeah.
meaning 46 calvings.
Yeah, actually, if you want the ones here, it will be like now we
46 plus 8, 54.
are, yeah, plus the ones here, 54
Plus another 8,
6,
64.
Yeah,
From 4 cows
Yeah.
in 2014
yeah,
to 64 cows
Yeah.
in 2022.
exactly.
Daktari, kwani ng'ombe wako wanazaa mara mbili kwa mwaka?
Let me tell you.
It sounds like
Yeah.
it's not real.
No, it is a reality. I've never bought another cow, and I've been selling cows. So, what we did when those 4 cows came, out of the 4, when they gave birth, because I've been using 60 semen all through, from 4 you go to 8. Within 1 year, if you feed the 4 calves well, within 14 months you inseminate them. By 22 months, they are calving again. So you keep on seeing a very huge multiplier effect, because if you are using 60 semen, the rate at which you get the heifers, it's very high. And if you're able to feed all those heifers and they all then transit to cows, I don't think you have any challenges multiplying your herd. This is, like now you have seen those ones are 8 calves. 8 calves today is, we are in January
2022.
2022. By January 2023, it will be 1 year. Before we get to January 2024, they already have calved. So,
January 2020, yes, 2024.
yeah, they already have calved. So you see, these ones will be calving. So it will be from those 8. I'm just calculating from you from those 8. The 8 now will be 8 plus 8.
16.
16. 2 years. And remember those 2 years, these ones are still calving again.
Yes.
Eh?
So that
these
one
ones
gives
are
you
calving.
24.
Yeah, these ones are calving.
16 plus the 8.
The 8. So multiplying the hand is very fast. Very fast with the 60
Why
semen.
do you use sexed semen?
You know, I have to build my hand. And again, as I told you, having started with cows, I had no option but to go up the genetics ladder and get to the top of superior genetics. If you want to get to the top of those superior genetics, then you have to increase your carry rate so that you keep on carrying the lower end and moving on to the upper limit, the upper net merit cows. And if you have to get those high net merit cows, you cannot make it if you keep on getting bulls in between. Because assume those 8 we have seen there is 1 bull. Assume now we went with the conventional semen that has got a probability of 50-50. Assume those who are now 4 bulls and 4 heifers. You see now you limit yourself because selection now narrows. But now when I have 8, like now if you have those 8 and the ones we saw here 6, those are 14. Those are 14 heifers. 14 heifers, within 2 years, you say 14 times 2 because they will be calving.
28.
Yeah, 28. After that, with the 60 semen, except where you get a bull here and there, like you saw, there is 1 there. Like I was telling you last year, but 1, I got 3 out of 60 semen. But the percentage is quite low. So you multiply your hand very fast. And that is why you can see in developed countries like America, nowadays, because of having so many calves or heifers being born of 60 semen, they are even using beef on heifers so that they produce beef from the heifers because already they have enough. If you are using 60 semen within a short time, you're able to multiply your hand.
Daktari, there's somewhere things are turning more difficult from my end to understand.
Yeah.
What is this good planning you had?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it on this perspective.
Yeah.
Sahani ni ile moja.
Sahani ni ile moja.
The watoto wanaongezeka.
Yeah.
How did you keep on multiplying this sahani to cope up with the hard size? Are there lessons you learned along the way? Because I can imagine you have now 4 cows. You started with the 4 cows.
Yeah.
You get sexed semen.
Yeah.
You get 4.
Yeah, you get 4.
You get a population of 8.
Yeah.
The following year, because you're achieving calving per year,
Yeah.
now you have,
You have
the first 4 will calve down again.
Yeah, they'll come.
Now that one gives you 12.
12.
But these 12 are supported by 4 lactating cows.
Yes.
So it means you have to feed 8 more mouths
Yes.
that are not
Yeah.
lactating.
Yeah.
Is it that you had some very good planning for the same in a reference to ile sahani,
Yeah.
or the fodder
Yeah.
and the feeding aspect of that, and also from the structure perspective?
Yeah.
I'm looking like I have a cow shed of 4 cows, but now within a span of 2 years,
Yeah.
I'm talking of 12.
Yes.
Is it that you did all the structures, or maybe you had a plan for structure, or maybe you get enough fodder that warranted you to go the sexed semen way? Because I've seen so many farmers
Yeah.
suffering from that effect of multiplying the herd.
Let me tell you, Njuguna, we have gone through challenges, which every farmer goes through. This dairy farming, I normally...
That is immune.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not immune. I normally tell farmers, dairy farming is a process. It's not an event. It's a process that you have to go through step by step. When I brought those cows, I bought land 2 acres, and I was very comfortable. Within a short time, I realized that 2 acres cannot support. I bought more land. Within a short time, I realized it cannot support. Right now, I'm farming this maize on a 16-acre piece of land. Leave alone even that. Even with that 16-acre piece of land, last year, actually going to this year, right now, we have had 1 month without syringe, 1 month without A. Simple.
You're talking about 2021.
Yes, I'm talking actually in December and January. Yeah.
December sisi tukikula mbuzi na chapati.
Mimi nilikuwa na stress. Because
huku chinjia ng'ombe mbuzi.
Wow. There was no syringe, there was no hay. Because I thought all along I used to maintain a stock for 1 year. I produce syringe enough for 1 year. But what I forgot is that I did mathematics with the calves. So I said I'm using a total of 500 kilos per day. I multiplied. I said if I get these tons, I'm okay. Yeah. But now, what I forgot is that these calves are also going to grow. Yeah. So, you realize my calculation, I had a gap of 19 days. 19 days, I realized the hay is likely to be over. Actually, no, not 19 days, 13 days. I realized the hay is likely to be over before, and I will be having a gap of 13 days on the hay and the silage. And for sure, you know the way you normally say, si kisha nitanunua. That time wache ishe. I tried to get A, I couldn't get it anywhere. I think even now there is still a shortage. Yesterday is the first time I got a batch of 400. The more 400 is coming tomorrow. So as I was saying, it's a running lesson. Because like you can see what I've done now, I've done like 280 tons. That's a calculation to last me for 1 year. I want to put it like 2,000 bales. So that now I don't do the same mistake I did last year to do a calculation, you know, on a linear scale, hawa watakula hii, watafanya hivi, without forgetting they are also growing and they are consuming more. So as a farmer, I went through the challenges that any other farmer can go. Right now I realize I cannot even support those cows from my own land. I had to buy maize from other farms and then I chop it. So the point I'm now at is a point where I'm saying I don't want to expand that and more than. I'm not building any other structure. I want to maintain those ones because the land I have and the land I can access can support those ones. But if I have to build another barn, I have to go out of my way to buy another land or to lease all. So what I would encourage farmers,
maziwa inaongezeka bei.
Maziwa inaongezeka bei wapi bwana? Maziwa inaongezeka bei wapi bwana? Yeah? Kama ningekuwa mahali maziwa bei iko sawa kabisa, you know, I like dairy farming for sure. I can even put them even in my sitting room and have cows there. Just But you see, if you look at the cost of production is damn high. So the more you keep on pushing the numbers, the more they also keep on digging into your pocket. Like now, you see, like last year, and got a very high ratio of heifers and the in-calf cows compared to the ones that were milking. I have to support them from my pocket. But now, as a farmer, I've run my lessons. I think now I'm almost 80% in terms of running. I can't say that I've run everything. Silage now, I've done the one I think will last me for 1 year, despite the fact that I'll farm the next season. So I think there I'm safe. I'm going to buy enough to last me for 1 year, so that in between I know I'm safe, even if a season fails. Out of that, now you're able to balance yourself and reduce your stress. Otherwise, when all those cows, there is nothing to feed them, my friend, you may find yourself walking on the road without knowing where you are going.
I normally like saying, if you have never met a mad person,
Yeah.
go and look for a farmer
Yeah.
who has cows
Yeah.
minus fodder.
Minus Fodder.
You're in a meeting there, or
Yeah.
maybe you're enjoying your meat there, you are the delicious meal, then
Yeah.
a call. Kuna nepia imepatikana mahali. You
you-
know that rush.
You rush.
No, I don't want anything. You want just to rush.
Like for me, I've bought Napier in all these villages. I can show some even I've bought which have not even grown, just to buy and secure. I'll pay you the money you are paid when it grows, because I had no option. So, founder security, as you normally say, cows don't need excuses. You have to, you have to
that's
feed
true.
them. You have to feed them. So, founder security should be your point number one. Leave our own structure, leave our own anything else. Founder security. If you can achieve that, then you are done.
Now,
Yeah.
lesson number one from Dr. Kaaria is there is no dairy farming minus fodder security.
Yes.
Apart from that one,
Yeah.
is there any other important lesson you have learned from your journey since 2012 to 2014? You learned and you said, oh, I don't want this thing. You
Yeah.
bounced back strong.
Yeah.
Is there any other lesson you have learned in that entire duration?
Sure. As I said, this is not a simple process. Started chopping this maize. I used my farm, where I farm maize is like 30 kilometers from here. I used to put the whole maize on the rolling, then we come and chop here in the compound. So you realize when it is chopped, 1 acre will give me like 12 tons, and 12 tons will be one rolling. But when it's not chopped, that 1 acre you have to use 3 lorries to transport the same rolling, the same material.
The transport cost goes
The transport cost goes high. When now you bring it here on the field, because of piling them, even getting them to the machine becomes a problem. So even the cost of labor for chopping also goes up because you use more tractor hours. So that one, I did it for 2 seasons. And I came to realize I'm spending a lot of money in terms of transporting it whole and chopping it here. And therefore, that is when I want to look for this tractor that chops and runs at the same time. Initially, even we went and chopped in the field there using this small machine. We were chopping it down into a heap, then chopping it back to, putting it back to the lorry. That was also damn expensive. That one I learned. I can never go back there.
Utaki pumpkins za Israel, za Egypt.
Havana. Wacha kuchop ikiingia kwa lori tukikanyanga tunaleta. It's cheaper, economical, and you are home and dry. The other thing I've learned, structures. If you have to really be smart, and especially if you have money, plan for the number of cows, plan for the structures, how they will be located, how they will relate with each other, plan the entire farm. Even if you want to start with section by section, do that. Because for me, what was pushing me to build was a necessity. I realized I have heifers, I have nowhere to keep them. And the cows I have, I cannot cull them. So what do you do? And more structure. All of a sudden, more heifers. The structure is full. Now I don't want to know what to do. Like now you can see the entire unit is full. And unless I cull some cows, I have nowhere to put them. So you see, you keep on, like the structure now, I kept on building it stage by stage. But if you have a plan of what you want to do, like if you want to do 100 cows, and you are convinced that is what you want to do, you can check and see Fodder security wise, you'll be okay. Then plan the entire farm so that now you can see the milking pillar will be here, the calves will be here, the first these stages, the way they flow. Because for me, I've done it through necessity. I have cows, heifers, nowhere to keep them, I build. Heifers, nowhere to keep them, I build.
Are you saying in a very polite way?
Yeah.
Calving here has been like an accident.
Yeah.
Imeza, we don't have anywhere to...
Yeah, to keep them. Then you build. Like now, I don't know where I'll keep these ones as I wait for those second covers to get to third calving. Because we like carrying them at third calving, because that is when we are able to establish their full potential. Now, I think if you realize even the barn there with the heifers, it is overpopulated. So I have to check which cows should leave because I don't want the heifers to leave.
There's something very important you have said, that you normally select and cull your cows at that calving.
Yeah.
Before you tell us, our viewer, have you learned something? That fodder security is very important, and this is not against the current herd.
Yeah.
It's what you're expecting in the next 1 year.
Exactly.
On farm planning regarding the structures, let it not be an accident. Daktari has learned calving is not an accident.
Yeah.
You knew very well you have inseminated your cow, you knew very well there will be calving, and knew purpose to retain that calf. It's not an accident that you will retain. It's a decision you have made.
Yeah.
If you have to make that decision, also make a decision to plan for your farm expansion.
Exactly.
Now, when do you cull your cows at that calving? And not at first calving or the fifth calving. At least I want to see a 14 calver in this farm.
No, you may not find her in this farm until we get until we achieve our objective number 1. Our objective number 1 is to maintain a hand where we know the genetic potential of the milking cows is 35 liters and above. So the reason as to why we go to that calving, by that calving is when you get the full potential of that cow. Because you see, when you look at the hierarchy of nutrients, if it is a first cover, when you talk about growth, maintenance, repair, production and reproduction, you realize if it is a heifer, then some of the nutrients are going to growth, they are still going to maintenance and now production. So you may not get much. But by the third lactation, growth is almost over. So all the nutrients that you are feeding that cow, they are going to production and reproduction. So now you can see this is the maximum production I can get from this cow. So if she is unable, right now our cutoff is 25. A cow that has not been pushed.
What do you mean by a cutoff of 25 liters? Is it the peak? Is it...
No, it is the average. We don't work with peaks. Peaks here, we have peaks even of 42 without pushing the cow. But for us, we go with the average because peak is nothing. Actually, peak, when you hear a farmer talking about peak is nothing. You can have a cow peaking at 42 liters by the second month, but by the 45th month, she is at 16 liters. That cow is of no value compared to a cow that went to 25 and maintained 25 all through. So you get more yield from a cow. In fact, what you should have in mind regarding a cow is what is the lifetime net yield. If I have this cow, what is the maximum I can harvest from this cow? Not where it peaked, where it dipped. Those ones are
They are non-issues.
They are non-issues to me.
How do you get this average of 25?
You see now you have to look at the monthly average. Yeah. So every month we record milk every day. As you saw there during milking, we milk and weigh. And we record milk for each and every cow. So at the end of the month, you calculate the monthly average production for that month. You see the first 3 months will have very high averages. But as she goes towards the 7th month, towards drying, it will still be going down. At the end of the day, we will do the average for the entire lactation. But when we get to the third lactation, because now we are too quick to push that cow out of the hand, we normally engage it with the first 3 months. If within the first 3 months, the average, like now if you are talking of the average lactation of 25 liters, if in the first 3 months she will not get to 28, we know she will not achieve 25. So she can now leave. We will keep on pushing them that way, until we achieve all of them 35. When we achieve now 35, then all the heifers I produce, I sell all of them and just pick 1 or 2 to retain. But
Now,
for now, we can only sell land covers. Like now, most of what we have is first covers because I sold almost everything.
do you sell to the butcher the one that has an average below 25, or you sell to a fellow farmer?
No, we sell to a fellow farmer. But if it's a problematic cow, like the one we sold, the last one we sold, a cow by the name Kiende, that one we knew she normally has a problem with mastitis. And one thing we like doing, we don't want to give a farmer who is below us a problem that we feel it was straining us to handle. So if it was straining us to handle, I believe the farmer who is below me will find it more even harder to handle. So because we knew she is prone to mastitis, that one we sent her direct to the butcher. Even if she was producing 15 liters, the average for the month. But at that point, the boma, the barn was full, and she was the only victim to leave. And that one we couldn't allow her to leave to
a fellow farmer
because she had already lost 1 quarter. The other quarter, within a month, she would get treatment once in a while, and therefore she had to leave to the butcher.
There's something you have talked about, pushing a cow to produce more. What does that one mean? Because I'm sure our madam director here thinks is you place a cow here and you push the cow, or you press the other hard so that it produces more milk. What do you mean by pushing a cow?
No, what I mean by pushing a cow maybe is a language. It's not any scientific language, but it's a language that I've coined. Like now, you see, our cows basically you feed on hay, silage, the superfos, of course, very little dairy meal based on production level, and especially for the first 3 months. From there, we don't the dairy meal we reduce because we want to reduce the cost. So we give it what we call ambition diet, a diet that we know in terms of nutritional value, it's not very high. What I know, the cows I have here, if I calculated dairy meal as I'm supposed to feed them, and feed them in that regime, the milk here would shoot to the top, but my cost would also shoot to the top. Like I can tell you, these cows for the last 2 months, I haven't given them any source of protein. I just decided, okay, soya is up, canola is up, cotton seed cake, I can't get it. For 2 months, stay that way. And they are still producing. So that is what I say, pushing a cow, because if I want them to produce more, I can pump in more dairy meal, I pump in more soya, more canola. Like during that time, when I realized that the soya, the canola, they have gone up, I just went to white energy and I started giving them 100 grams per day.
What do you mean by white energy?
Yeah, white energy is, this is a rumen bypass fat. Yeah, because I knew whatever they are feeding, when we didn't have hay and we didn't have silage and we didn't have a source of protein, we were buying just napier and then just napier and the reefs. So I knew that the energy in that diet would be very low.
Very low, indeed.
Yeah. So for me to compensate, I just gave them white energy, 100 grams per day, and here I am. I've survived the period.
Was there any impact on milk production?
Yes. Actually, I tested, if you feed them just in napier, the milk goes down. But when I was feeding napier and white energy, the milk went up. Another thing I realized, because I like sharing both the good side and the bad side, I realized that if you give too much white energy, the protein and the fat went very high. They went up in the milk. Actually, my milk, at some point before I gave them the correct dosage, they were giving 200 grams. My milk density went to 29. When they used the alcohol test, the milk was being rejected because the fat and protein in the milk was so high. So I reduced. But that period, despite using napier, they never lost body condition so much because I supplemented with white energy. You know, it's just like the way you calculate. Instead of feeding a cow 3 kilos of maize, you feed 100 grams of white energy. You are safe. You achieve the same results, but using another route that will give you the energy, and it will be cheaper.
Now, where do you get this white energy from?
There's a company called Atlantis Life Science. We also work in partnership with them. They import the product. You can get it It's called white energy. You can get
Maybe you can share the contact.
Yeah, the contact is 0721 888 444.
0721 888 444.
Yeah.
You just call and say you want white energy.
You want white energy.
Daktari alisema nalisha Napier,
Yeah.
but I don't want the body condition to go down.
Yeah.
I only need the white energy
Yeah.
at a level of 100 grams.
Yes.
And that one can replace 3 kgs of maize.
Yeah, it can replace 3 kgs of maize. So, you see also, if you feed a lot of maize, you get now the acidosis.
Yes, indeed.
So, you can achieve the same level of energy, but using, instead of going to maize, which you need to feed a lot, if you feed white energy, you reduce both your cost and safety to the animals. Yeah.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win. It's a win-win. Because actually, were it not for that, these cows, those 2 months, they would be just looking like a skeleton. But now, of course, now that I've gotten a syringe, when the syringe is ready, and now I've gotten if I want to reduce the white energy, I will reduce. Because already there is energy in the maize. So I will reduce. I can reduce even to 50 grams. And sometimes when I take my milk to the dairy cooperative, and they say the density is low, just you feed white energy, the density goes up. You
Instantly.
Balance, yeah, within 3 days, it will have gone up. You just balance your mathematics. Yeah.
I like the way you share your success and challenges.
Yeah.
Have you learned something regarding the human resource, considering that in the last video where we had a walk through the farm, you told us that Ruth and Ivy,
Yeah.
their growth rate is poor.
It's very poor.
How did you get there?
You know, this is the time they were born during the Corona era, when Corona came.
Corona babies.
Corona babies, yeah. Those babies, they had 2 challenges. I normally meal the meal for the calves in Thika, and I bring them here. So when the Corona was there, the movement was not that efficient. So the meal they normally use was not available all the times. That was challenge number 1. Challenge number 2, when my workmen realized that I wasn't frequent, they relaxed. And again, I had not divided the river. I had not done a division of any, so that somebody takes responsibility. They used to work as a team, you know. And by the time I started noticing, I was already in mess. So that one gave me and taught me a lesson that I quickly came through it the other way around. I decided everybody has to have a responsibility, so that if there is a problem anywhere, I just come direct to you, not to the other. Yeah, that is now when I separated them and said, you are going to do milking and feed the cows. That's your work. You are going to do cleaning, that's your work. You are going to do feeding, that's your work. Nowadays, we don't fight with them. Actually, even at 11, you may find somebody is just sleeping, and I don't have a problem with that person. Because if it is cleaning, and you have cleaned all the barns, and they are clean, and the cows are clean, I don't have a problem. Even if you want to clean until evening, that is your problem. Even if you want to hire somebody to do it for you when you are not there, I have no problem. But one thing I should never is find it dirty. Actually, that time, that is when I learned that also with technology help. I installed CCTV camera. So sometimes I can wake up in the morning just to check. We have a chat with them. Hey, what is happening here? Why are you doing this? Then everybody it's like now in a team.
Before the COVID babies,
Yeah.
the COVID calves,
Yeah.
were you struggling in terms of the human resource?
Let me say it's during that COVID that I learned a lesson. Before, I used to have, actually I understood the challenges of people working without direct responsibility. But that time, the realization had not come to me like it came to me during the COVID era. Because I remember way back there, I found 2 cashews. One of them could put a lot of feed in the trough so that it can disappear even for a whole day. Here we feed cows twice, in the morning and the evening. But he could do what even cows should take even for 2 days, he piles it there. Then you realize all of a sudden there is mold in the field, it starts growing in the corners, the cows are not eating. I tried to collect that, he couldn't respond, I had to fire him. So those challenges with the workers are there, and it's a reality. But one thing I would want to encourage farmers, be a friend to your workers. Like you can see the way we are relating with ours. Even somebody came here looking for me and couldn't identify me from the workers, because if it means work, we are all working. When I'm here, yeah. He was coming looking for Daktari, and he is talking to Daktari, but he cannot identify me.
Because he's just another casual
working, because when I'm here, we all work together, but with a responsibility. You know, even if I'm assisting or I'm doing this and the other, that is your responsibility. So workers, what I've realized, be friendly to them. You have to be friendly to your workers. They have to feel that they own it. When there is a success, congratulate them. Like now, the guy who handles calves, you hear him saying, these ones I want them to be, and I want us to serve them when they are 12. You know, that is now in his mind.
It's a target.
It's a target. Already he is fused, enthusiastic to do it. When you see him doing the right job, sometimes 1,000 or so here and there will stimulate them to work.
Yeah. Now, since you are very far, you live very far, you live in Nairobi.
Yeah.
Which is very far from where the farm is.
Yeah, yeah.
Are there kind of reports you get maybe on a daily basis, on a weekly basis? Because I'm sure it's not easy to visit the farm maybe weekly or even fortnightly.
No, I can't make it weekly or fortnightly. You know, like now I monitor from the side of milk. If you are very good milk records, I get them every day.
Per individual cow or
per individual cow, not cumulative. I get per individual cow and per the customer. If 270 liters went to the dairy cooperative, 60 liters were taken by a contractor 1 and 35 liters by a contractor 2, because those are the people you sell. Then I know today he went to 35, 270 went to dairy, 60 went to this, total down here, then totals for the cow, whatever was used by the calves, whatever they consumed in their kitchen, I get the total. So I'll get it per cow and per utilization. So from the milk, I'm able to pick when there are issues. Because if you see a cow and produce 35 liters yesterday, and today is at 30, I call immediately.
There's a problem.
Why is cow so and so behaving this way? Then I check the others. When I check the trend in the other cows and realize all of them have gone down, I zero onto 2 problems. 1, will be late milking, 2, late feeding. So I can even go back to the cameras before I call them.
And you see,
I check when was the milking done, when was the feeding done. So when I call them with information. You know, yesterday, because the report, when I get it at night, I check it in the morning, because they normally send it to me after the 9:30 milking. So I'll check, yesterday what happened? Why were you milking at this time when you are supposed to milk at this time? Oh, I overslept, what? The other one, why did you, like I can tell you without them hearing, most of the problem, most of the Mondays, end month Mondays, I know milk can go down. For obvious reason, you know.
Our viewer, that's a food for thought.
Yeah,
maybe share that in the comment section.
Yeah.
Why you think every Monday, the first Monday of the month?
The first Monday of the month, especially now, because I come on Saturdays. That end month, that Monday, I know the milk will go down. Yeah.
Share in the comment section where you think the production goes down.
Yeah.
Now, regarding the fertility in your farm, is there any kind of reports you get? Fertility, and in addition to that, maybe any other notable observation, how the communication is? Fertility,
I normally monitor it myself through the inseminator, because I have a contracted inseminator, not a resident in the farm. But when I select my semen for the cows and mark them, I store them at a place called Nkobo. Yeah. So the inseminator knows semen A is for cow C, semen this is for this cow, this is for this cow, and I normally allow them 2 straws. So each and every cow will be having 2 straws per in the tank. Yeah. So that now, when they go pick there, they know if it is Njambi is supposed to be inseminated by Tabasco. If it is Kaaria is supposed to be inseminated by fortnight, you know. So that one I do it myself. Now, what I do is when I get the insemination records for the month, I check the repeat rate. If there is any cow was inseminated, and then it repeats again. So I calculate my average conception rate in the farm. And like now, I don't have much problem with fertility. What I normally do, when a cow calves, that is when I get much interested with that cow. Not because of the milk.
You have shared that story with me. I adopted your system.
Yeah.
When as a telephone farmer.
Yes, when a cow calves, you develop a lot of interest. That is when you get adequate volumes on dairy meal. You make sure there is protein, there is, the chumvi is there, everything. So that now she comes back on it very fast. Then you serve her. Immediately I serve her, I relax. Produce the milk without being pushed. So I normally check what is the average conception per that period. And that is when I'm able to calculate. Yeah, like now you can see there's an inseminator.
Yeah, I can see the inseminator.
Yeah.
You even saw a cow mounting.
Yeah, so I think he is coming to deal with it.
Who communicates with the inseminator? Is it your employees it's you who communicates?
No, it's not me. We have responsibility. There's a guy, the guy who milks and feeds the cow. He is the one overall responsible for making sure that he identifies the cows on it, and he calls the inseminator and everything is done. Yeah. So that is what he does. So for me, I normally, sometimes also it's going to motivate your workers. Before, when they used to work as a group, I used to tell them, especially if I find a difficult breeder, I used to tell them, the first person to see that cow on it, I'll give you 500. So everybody would spend time, yeah. But now I've given the responsibility to one guy, but he's good at it. He always keep around moving, because after milking doesn't have any other work. So you keep around moving, seeing what is happening, what. Then if he sees a cow on it, he calls the inseminator and gives the inseminator which cow it is. The inseminator knows this cow goes with which semen. You just pick the semen, come and inseminate. So I've tried to make my work easier. Yeah, and actually, if you manage to break if you manage to break the ice with the inseminators, with the employees, and you become good friends, you don't need to push. Things will just be.
It's like an automated system.
Yeah, it will be just like an automated system. I can stay here even without doing anything to the cows, but everything will be running smoothly. Yeah, I don't have to get calls each and every. If a cow is sick, they know who is supposed to treat it. It's reported immediately. The cow is treated.
At what point do you get these? For fertility, you have told us you will do a compilation at the end of the month.
Yeah.
So there is a report that will come from the inseminator.
Yeah.
You will also check on the movement of your
semen.
The semen.
Yeah.
The employee, I believe, has somewhere he notes which cow was on heat.
Yes, they record.
Now on the health part of it.
Yeah.
Because they're communicating directly to the
clinician.
To the clinician.
Yeah.
At what point do you get that information that a specific cow was? I'm sure for lactating cows you will get it directly because of the milk
I'll
production.
get it direct from.
Now, what about the calves and generally the heifers?
Generally, because of that pushing responsibility to the individual. Sometimes I may know a cow was sick even after it has been treated, because he knows sickness is an emergency. Immediately a cow is seen that this cow is sick, you don't have to wait and call me. Why should you call me? I'm not the one coming to treat. It is a clinician who is. They will call the clinician immediately, and then they will record even the time they called him. If they are to call twice, they will record. If they are to call the right times, they will record. So it's like a joint system, because when they are being treated, whoever is treating also doesn't want to have a bad record. So immediately a cow is sick, you find it's treated, or it will be even reported to me 2 days or any there later. Yeah, unless there is a big issue that cow, even after treatment, she is not responding well. Like I was telling you, we lost a cow this year that was among the best milkers.
What happened to your best milker?
There was a problem. Actually, it was a management issue. There was a management issue with the guy. Of course, he admitted, because I go back to check. That cow was a mismanagement in minerals. So when she came down, They didn't realize it was milk fever that was setting in. So they treated for other condition, and then she became a downer. And of years, when you see a cow get to the downer stage, you don't have to spend a lot of time wasting with it.
You just calm.
I
know that one was very painful.
Yeah, it was painful, but I've learned to separate cows from myself. Yeah.
There's Dr. Kaaria.
Yes.
There's a farmer.
Yeah.
And now there are the cows.
Those I've learned to separate that, because I remember when I was starting farming, those my first 4 cows. One day I didn't sleep. When we were building the barns, I was also building the house for the workers. We had just finished the barns and the cows were feeding there, and the trough, the house for the workers, as you saw, is just 3 meters away from. So when we were roofing, I think some news fell on the trough. In the morning, I was told the cow is sick. My best cow, by then that was Theo. When I went to the trough, I saw 4 nails. The whole day I was shaking. The cow was not getting better. Oh, I knew now it is gone. In the evening, the whole night, I couldn't sleep. Stress. Then from that time, I said, no, if a cow is sick, it's not a Kaaria who is sick. I separated. I thank God I was able to separate myself from them, because they could fall sick and get sick also. But now, if a cow has a problem, it has been treated, everything has been done to the best, she is not responding, let her go.
There is a farmer who told me that we are listening to the dairy journey.
Yeah.
And say that one of the greatest achievement in dairy farming for him, it's to learn how to separate him, the kids, his kids, and the cows. Completely. Because at one time, at some point, the cows were a priority, but not the kids.
Exactly.
So the kids will be like, daddy, daddy. But the other side, the cows are saying daddy in another. So you learned now the hard way.
You learned. I can remember my wife one day, because I used to come a lot. She told me, wewe wenda kwa hiyo mang'ombe yako ndio unapenda sana.
I'm sure that day you didn't step in there.
It didn't capture my mind immediately. But later on is when I realized, oh, ati hiyo mang'ombe yako ndio unapenda sana. Yeah. So one thing I've learned is to separate. Even this period when we had the challenges, no, I wasn't worried, I wasn't stressed. Let them eat whatever they can eat. It is just for a short time. That's all.